Two.
Hello, welcome to the Three Geeks Network. I'm not actually a part of this review, but I am running the board while these guys sit here and discuss Southpaw. But before I pass it off to Max, I just want to mention that we're giving away a $100 Visa gift card on Facebook. All you need to do is go to Facebook, like our page, join the event. That's it. You don't have to go to Comic Con, even though it says it's a Comic Con giveaway. You just got to like us and join the event, and then listen to the show that following Tuesday. All the information is on the event page. Definitely check it out. I also want to thank all 600 of you that have followed us in the last week and a half on Twitter. That is awesome. We went from 5 Twitter followers to 605 in 12 days. So thank you, everyone. So, Max, take it off. How was the movie?
All right, Southpaw. It was definitely a boxing movie. I think everyone can agree that it was a boxing movie.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, there was boxing, there was a uphill struggle, and a down on his luck boxer. I think that pretty much sums up every boxing movie ever made.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't too. Yeah, there wasn't. You weren't surprised by anything. You pretty much got the whole movie in the trailer. Like,
So the plot, for those of you who might not know what Southpaw is about, it's about a boxer that falls on hard times. He was a championship boxer. His wife dies, and it's him putting his life back together.
his wife is horribly killed in public at like a freaking charity event. She's shot and killed, and it's just like, I'm sorry, but that was the most ridiculous.
The entire backstory was a little rough, right? I mean, both him and his wife grew up in like a foster home scenario. They
Right.
got together, just tugging at your heartstrings the entire time, and it's kind of a weak plot.
It was terrible.
Uh,
Or no, I shouldn't say terrible, but like it was just like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, the rage guy, and then he
yeah.
finds an old black mentor and rebuilds his life. Or I mean, okay, there's some scales that you have to put this movie on. Okay, so since it's you're pretty much cookie cutter boxing movie, you got to say the wife. Would you rate her on like one to Adrian, one being the worst, one being like, I don't know, someone in a Jean Claude Van Damme movie, 10 obviously, or Adrian obviously being like 10, the best. What would you rate Rachel McAdams
So
on the
Rachel
Adrian
McAdams
scale?
was in the movie for what, a total of 20 minutes
25
tops.
minutes maybe.
Okay, 25 minutes, and she looked phenomenal in those 25 minutes. Uh, but that was about it. That's all I mean, I would rate her maybe a two and a half, three.
A 3
A
on
three. She
Adrian.
was only in the movie for 25 minutes. How long was the movie?
Okay, I mean, all right. I was gonna give her a
Look,
5.
she did a great job for that, but it's still only 25 minutes of the movie. You
Fair
can't
enough.
rate it too much.
It's a 2-hour movie. She's only in it for 25 minutes, so that's fair. I gave her a 5 on the Adrian scale.
A five. Come on,
Yeah.
Adrian.
All right. So now the Pauly scale. Now the best friend, the best friend who is also a detriment to the boxer.
So
What
wait,
would
wait.
you rate?
Now who are you qualifying as Pauly? Are you qualifying Forrest Whitaker as the Pauly?
No, Forrest Whitaker goes on the Mickey scale.
Okay, forgive me. I forgot who Pauly was then.
Pauly's the drunken brother. Adrian's
Oh,
drunk brother who's just a piece of shit.
oh yeah. So that's 50 Cent, right?
Uh, he takes a few different roles in this one because he's kind of 50 Cent and he's kind of like 2 out of the 3 friends that he had.
So no, but his buddies in the movie were stand-up guys, right? They weren't out for money. They weren't out there to discredit him or do horrible things. They did some. Well, one of them did a not great thing. I don't want to get too far into it, but
Oh no, we can spoil it because you pretty much see the whole movie in the trailer. Like we're not
well,
spoiling anything They don't give you anything new.
All right, so one of them triggers the death, right? That's it. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all I'm gonna say. One of them potentially triggers the death of his wife.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, they're just like, oh, we never found out who did it. And it's like, how did you not find out who did it? Like,
Right. There's no forensics. There's no
Yeah.
CSI going on there.
At all.
It's a boxing movie.
Yeah, that's true.
They could have taken this a completely different route, you know.
I'm
like,
curious. How's 50 Cent in this movie?
I mean, okay, yeah. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you can tolerate 50 Cent in this movie, 10 being you just, like normal, wish that 50 Cent would go far, far away and never show up anymore.
All right, I would rate this. I would rate 50 Cent as a 2. Just make him go away.
Yeah, no, he wasn't terrible. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't bad. Actually,
He was just there, right? He was just there.
He was definitely there. He definitely said some things.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He was a shady character.
That's all he was. He was a shady
like
character
Don
who played a
King.
bit part. That
He's the
you know,
Don
kinda-
King.
Yeah, they touted him as the guy who set up Billy Hope's career.
Yeah.
And then,
Even though like his wife did that.
well, his wife made all the decisions, and but he set the deals, right?
Yeah, I guess he.
So 50 Cent set the deals.
Yeah.
His wife made all the decisions in his entire life until his kid makes the decisions for him.
Yeah. So the kid is like a 12-year-old going on freaking 40.
Yeah, she was pretty aged for. She was a great actor though. She was pretty good for a kid actor.
You liked her?
As a kid actor, look, you don't get very many
That's
kid actors.
my next thing, because it's like, now, is it like Dakota Fanning, or is it like Jurassic Park? You're like, please, T-Rex, just get the kids.
No, I think it was in between, right? I didn't want to smack her. I didn't want her to, get beaten up in the foster home or anything like that.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Well, yeah, if she got into a little trouble, learned to box, maybe that'd be
she got like shanked in the foster home.
This isn't Orange is the New Black. There's no shanks.
Or schlocking. She could have got schlocked.
Schlocked?
Yeah, dude, it's where you put a lock in a sock and you hit somebody with it. It's called a schlocking.
I'm learning all sorts of new things today.
Oh yeah, man. No, actually, I watched Orange is the New Black. I'm not, there's no getting around it now. But
I learned you can make a shank out of Jolly Ranchers. That's
yeah, man.
good things to know. Yeah. So.
All right. So yeah, back to Southpaw.
That's Southpaw. So it's a big culmination into one move, basically, right?
Yeah. Like, okay, they say Southpaw.
And you have no idea what that really means in terms of boxing, unless you're a boxer, I guess.
It means you go from the left.
Right. Which I only found out at the last minute.
But like, they go like 3/4 of the movie, and no one ever says Southpaw. And then
there's a 5-minute second.
Here's the trick: you just go Southpaw. And it's like he knew it the whole time, but he Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't mentally prepared to deal with that until the very end of the movie, so that's why he never mentioned it.
He was Stallone getting beat up in every boxing match until he punched the guy out, and then that was it. Now he learns to go Southpaw.
But like I thought that the bigger thing was. And there's always some like fight mechanic that you need in this boxing movie, because like Rocky was a certain style of boxer and he had to switch to a different thing, you know what I'm saying? And like even Cinderella Man and yada yada. There's always like that fight mechanic where the guy is one thing and then changes to something else. Yeah. So the defense thing that he was doing, where he was like going like this.
Yeah.
And doing that thing. I thought that was more important
than the Southpaw.
Like that changed everything for his boxing style versus the Southpaw move where he literally only even okay, yeah, they mention it for 10 seconds, and then it's only one time he switches to Southpaw, hits the dude, and then everything's done.
Well, I mean, okay, so this entire movie was a. I think that his defense, using his shoulder and blocking all the punches, was really an allegory to his heart.
Well, yeah, but still, like it was just more critical to the match, you know what I'm saying, than the whole Southpaw thing.
But it was because he stopped getting punched in the face
Right.
constantly.
And I'm just saying, like, I don't know, they made a big deal about it. You know, they named the movie Southpaw, and it's not
And
even.
it should have been called "Put Your Left Shoulder Up."
Yep. Yeah. Tuck your chin underneath your shoulder there.
Yeah.
Box from your side. Yeah. On the Yoda scale? How would you put Forrest Whitaker, or like go 0 to Morgan Freeman?
Two completely different scales here. You know what? I thought Forrest Whitaker was very wise. He had very Madden-like words. But if you look beyond those Madden words, it's very wise. It's very deep.
Yeah.
In terms of the Morgan Freeman, well, he had a monologue, and he's a black guy.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up Forrest Whitaker in that movie. Yeah, I didn't hate him. He wasn't he was kind of funny and like for a cantankerous old man.
Yeah,
like I mean, like they had this
who's chugging, drinking whiskey.
Yeah, like how about that scene where the kid died? Did you think that was too much?
You know what? That scene where they mention that the kid dies, that you've seen maybe 10 minutes in the entire movie, in little snippets, you learn 2 seconds about his backstory. It just wasn't substantial enough for me to really feel too much. Now, I think that Forrest Whitaker and Gyllenhaal's interaction in that scene was actually pretty decent, based on the fact that there was not much to build it off of.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't too bad.
I mean, like, yeah, do you feel like they kind of Game of Thrones that kid? Like,
just gotta shake him, get him
like,
out.
Oh, hey, you're supposed to like him. He's a good kid who's got it rough.
No, like I said, he was probably in the movie for half as much time as Rachel McAdams. Not enough time for me to develop anything for him.
Well, no, but I mean, like, he's just a little punk kid. You know, it's like in that movie, Enemy at the Gates.
Okay.
The little kid that gets killed in the end of that movie.
No.
It's like the same deal. Anyway,
Okay,
they're like, oh, little spunky little kid, and then kill him.
I relate that kid to. This is gonna sound horrible. The dog in I Am Legend. You don't want the dog in I Am Legend to die. That dog has stood by Will Smith's character the entire movie, and I felt more for that dog than I did for Will Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, that kid, the kid in this movie definitely doesn't rate higher than the dog in I Am Legend. No way. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. All right. No, okay. Like, we're kind of talking shit about it, but overall, it wasn't that bad. Like, I wasn't pissed off watching it.
No, I honestly thought that it was a solid boxing movie. It's a good sports movie. It has. I don't know if it had any real meaning to it or anything there, but it was solid. It was a good watch.
Yeah. It had
Good
the Rocky feel. Had the Rocky feel to it, but he wins. I don't know, spoilers. He wins at the end.
Yeah.
And,
he won at the beginning. He won at the end.
Yeah, and then like the only fight he lost was he just like actually couldn't even he wasn't trying at all. Like didn't even raise up his hands the whole time. So anyway, apparently he's the greatest boxer to ever live and breathe in that universe that they've created. But no, it was okay, and little things I liked when they flip from boxer to boxer, and he's like, "Oh man, that dude's fast as fuck," and the other guy's like, "Man, that guy hits hard as shit." But Yeah, yeah.
It,
I
it
would
had
go
a good
watch.
feel to it. I'd give it a solid, 3.5 tops out of
Wait,
5.
are you doing out of 5 or out of 10?
I'm doing out of 5.
No, you go out of 10.
Go out of 10. Okay, I'll give it a 6.
You give it a 6 out of 10.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
I'll give it a 5.
All right.
It's watchable for sure, but you
Exactly.
don't need to watch it.
Right. It's that neutral period where if you got nothing else to do,
And you want to waste
you
like
need a
30 minutes
feel-good
of the movie.
movie. This is kind of, sort of, maybe it.
You don't really feel good though.
I like,
Oh,
I
we
said,
didn't talk
kind of,
about.
sort of feel good.
We
It's
didn't
not
talk
a
about.
it's not a happy-go-lucky movie.
No,
I didn't feel bad after watching it,
that's true. I mean, like, yeah. At
but it
the end
wasn't
of it, you just
ecstatic.
don't care. You just
Yeah,
don't care at all.
yeah. I mean, I thought the acting was good. The dialogue fell apart towards the end, but that's
Hmm.
about it.
Yeah, the more the kid got in it, the more the
Yeah.
movie sucked.
Well, so I was reading something about this. Eminem was supposed to be the main character, but then Eminem backed out to focus on his one song called "Phenomenon" that they played once in the entire movie, which sucked.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, it was a horrible song, and I really think that they made the dialogue for Eminem. I could see Eminem saying everything that Jake Gyllenhaal said, and it was horrible.
Yeah, that's true. I see that 100%. I agree. Um, yeah, the dialogue was whatever, but boxing movie,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
meh. um, yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Eminem song, I was glad that they only played it the one time because I mean, if they would have played it 2 times, it would have completely ruined the whole movie. The movie would have got a 1 out of 10 from me because not only was it generic, but we had to deal with 2 Eminem songs. No, sir.
yeah.
Awesome. Did you guys check out the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie?
I think it was like 42 when we went in. Did it go down?
No, that's about right. I was just saying your guys' rating for it seems to fall in line with what everybody else is saying about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this is a red box for sure. This is a red
Yeah, this
box,
is definitely a renter.
100%.
I just remember when Jake Gyllenhaal was filming it, they kept saying this is going to be his Oscar. This is going to be his Oscar. Like he's finally going to
No.
get it. And everything I've heard, no, unfortunately, he's not. I mean, dude is ripped in this movie, so he obviously
Oh,
put the work in.
Yeah, he transformed himself
you
physically.
know, do you know what I think this is? This is Jake Gyllenhaal. This is his resume. He's like, hey Marvel, hey DC, look at what I can do. Okay, like the little bit of acting that he does in this movie is good enough for any superhero movie anywhere. And look how ripped he got. He's like, look at this. You want to throw me in the Daredevil movie? Or you want to throw me in something? That's just on the resume. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's doing.
I
He's
can
just
see
showing them
that. But
what's up.
so who would he be? Who would you put him as?
I would see Jake Gyllenhaal. I'd do him as Bullseye
I could see that.
on the Daredevil show for sure.
On the show.
On the show for sure. Well, the Netflix show is legit. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so definitely that. But in the movie, oh yeah, I'd love to see him in the movie of it too. I'd put him as Bullseye for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for going to see that for us. Um, Me and Philip have officially made everything coherent. So if you go to Facebook, you just type in Three Geeks Podcast. You go to YouTube. Anything is YouTube/Three Geeks Podcast, Facebook/Three Geeks Podcast. You can Three Geeks Podcast at gmail.com. So go to anything, Stitcher,
What about?
iTunes, type in
Can,
Three Geeks Podcast. What's that, Max?
I
wait,
just
go
said,
again?
what about iTunes?
iTunes is all Three Geeks Podcast. Even though our Twitter handle isn't Three Geeks Podcast, that the name of it is Three Geeks Podcast. So you just search that on everything. Come find us. Again, thank you so much for the support. Me, Max, and Amit will be at Ohio Comic Con, like I said at the beginning of the show, giving out prizes. Our friend Mike from McGTV is also going to be there with us. So definitely come check it out. From all of us, have a great night. Go
Yeah.
to GoGameIsland.com for all your video game needs. Peace.
Nope.